Welcome back to Finn Rallian Gamer. Today, I've got explosive leaks about Devil May Cry 6, and this could completely change the future of the series. Is Capcom pushing Dante and Vergil into the background? Will side characters take the spotlight? If these leaks are true, the Devil May Cry series could be heading in an entirely new direction. Let's dive into all the details together, but first, if you want more gaming news and leaks, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Also, turn on notifications so you never miss the latest gaming updates and theories. A new claim has shaken the gaming world. Dante and Vergil might be completely sidelined in Devil May Cry 6. It is rumored that Capcom plans to take the series in a new direction, putting more focus on side characters. But what does this mean? Will Nero, Lady, Trish, and possibly a brand new character take center stage? If these leaks are accurate, the series' dynamics could change entirely. These rumors align perfectly with Devil May Cry 5's ending. In the last game, Dante and Vergil were trapped in hell, locked in an endless demon battle, while Nero remained in the human world with his story left open-ended. Now, Capcom might be seizing this opportunity to make Nero the full-fledged main protagonist and push the story forward. But is this really a good idea? For longtime fans, the absence of Dante and Vergil could be a massive shock. The Devil May Cry series isn't just beloved for its fast-paced action and insane combat mechanics, it's also legendary because of Dante and Vergil's iconic rivalry. If this duo is pushed aside, could the game lose its soul? Or will Capcom successfully make new characters compelling enough to fill that void? On the other hand, giving side characters more screen time could breathe new life into the series. Nero underwent significant character development in Devil May Cry 5 and now seems ready to take on the lead role. Also, the return of classic characters like Trish and Lady in a more significant capacity makes a lot of sense. However, Capcom must walk a fine line. Here, they need to expand the story without losing the essence of the series. Especially considering Devil May Cry 5's ending, where Dante and Vergil had one of their most intense confrontations. It was revealed that Vergil is Nero's father, and soon after, the two brothers were trapped in hell. If Capcom chooses to ignore these major developments and move on without resolving them, Devil May Cry 6 could turn into a massive disappointment. So what would be the best solution? Capcom's smartest move would be to run the story on two fronts. One half of the game could focus on Dante and Vergil's adventures in hell, while the other follows Nero, Trish, and Lady battling demons in the human world. This way, both old and new generation fans would be satisfied, and Devil May Cry 6 could become one of the most ambitious games in the series. Additionally, the combat system might undergo significant changes. If Capcom truly intends to shift focus to new characters, those characters must have combat mechanics as fluid and stylish as Dante and Vergil's. The Devil May Cry series is known for offering a variety of playstyles across different characters, and this diversity is one of the key elements that keep players engaged. If Devil May Cry 6 fails to make its new characters feel unique and exciting, it risks losing player interest. A major concern is Dante's combat system, which features multiple fighting styles and weapon-swapping mechanics, making him one of the most beloved characters in action gaming. If Devil May Cry 6 focuses only on Nero and limits gameplay mechanics, the game might become repetitive. However, if Capcom introduces fresh abilities, fighting styles, and combo variations that make side characters feel truly special, this change could instead make the game an even more thrilling experience. Of course, the Devil May Cry fanbase cares deeply about the story. The fate of Dante and Vergil remains one of the biggest mysteries in gaming. If Devil May Cry 6 sidelines their storyline entirely and goes in a completely different direction, it could spark backlash among fans. However, with the right balance, Capcom could give new characters their time to shine while still delivering an unforgettable return for Dante and Vergil. So what could Capcom's biggest strategic move be here? If they truly intend to put Dante and Vergil in the background for Devil May Cry 6, they might compensate by giving them significant screen time in post-launch content or DLCs. Maybe the game will initially focus solely on Nero and his team, but as the story progresses, Dante and Vergil could re-enter the narrative. If this theory is correct, Capcom might have an unexpected surprise in store for fans. No matter what happens, Devil May Cry 6 will be a major turning point for the franchise. If Capcom makes bold changes, this game could define the series' future. However, those changes must not come at the cost of what makes the series great. Otherwise, Devil May Cry 6 could end up being a game that launched with high expectations but ultimately left fans disappointed. So, do you think Capcom is making the right decision? Would Dante and Vergil taking a back seat push the series forward? Or should Devil May Cry 6 continue to focus on their story? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you think about these leaks.